Once we have selected our tree for the site, the next step is to plant it and make it a permanent part of our landscape. In order to give it the best possible start, it's important to follow a few simple steps. A burlap tarp spread out near the site can collect the soil we remove when digging the planting hole. The tarp provides excellent protection for a lawn or patio and makes cleanup fairly easy. Carefully break the soil around the planting site with a spade. Start with small exploratory digs to make sure there are no plumbing pipes, electrical conduits, gas lines, large roots, rocks, or other obstacles that may make the desired location unsuitable. You can begin to assess the soil quality to help determine how much amendment it may need. If there are no obstacles, digging can begin. Loosen and remove the soil and place it on the protective tarp. If the soil is hard or compacted, a digging tool will help to loosen it so it can be removed with a spade or shovel. The digging tool is also useful for removing dead roots that can be difficult to break up with a spade. Ideally, the hole should be 3 times as wide as the diameter of the container. Check the quality and composition of the soil. The soil from the site for the Valencia orange is loose and friable. This should provide good drainage. But the Valencia orange will still benefit from a soil amendment, which we can add at this time. The soil on the other citrus site contains a lot of clay. This could cause some drainage problems and will need to be amended in order to give the tree a good start in its new home. With clay soil, a 50-50 mixture of amendment and soil is recommended. The soil amendment is added to improve the soil's water retention, permeability, drainage, and structure. We recommend an amendment that contains plenty of organic material like compost. Organic matter improves aeration, water and nutrient holding capacity, and often acts as an organic fertilizer. Add amendments to the bottom of the planting hole to a depth of 3 or 4 inches. Mix the amendment well with the soil at the bottom of the hole. Always mix the amendment and soil thoroughly before planting. If the amendment is merely buried, it will interfere with water and air movement and root growth. Compact the soil by walking on it thoroughly. This will remove air pockets and prevent the root ball from settling below the soil level when the tree is watered. The root ball is the mass formed by the roots in the soil in the container. The goal is for the tree to be planted so that the top of the root ball is level with the soil line. The depth of the planting hole should be the same as the height of the root ball. The shovel handle is a convenient tool to help determine the proper depth of the planting hole. Place it next to the container and note the level of the soil. Remember, it's not the height of the container, but the height of the root ball that's being measured. Check the height of the root ball against the depth of the hole. Of course, a measuring tape can be used for the same purpose. Once again, it is the top of the root ball, not the top of the container, that determines the depth of the hole. Once you have confirmed that the depth of the hole with the compacted soil at the bottom is the same as the height of the root ball, you are ready to place the tree in its new home. Many times the root ball will have developed a tight bond with the container, making it very difficult to remove. Give the tree a gentle tug to see if it can be easily freed. It is not a good idea to pull the tree vigorously by the trunk, as this can cause the root ball to disintegrate. A round rock about the size of a softball can be a very useful aid. Place it on a flat surface near the planting hole. Place the center of the container on the rock. Hold the container by the rim at the top and push down firmly. This will often release the bond between the root ball and the container. The tree can then be carefully removed with a gentle tug and lifted into the hole. If the rock method does not release the bond, or if you're concerned that the root ball is too loose to remain intact during the transplant, you can cut the container away. First, use a pair of pruning shoes to remove the bottom of the container. Start the cut at a drainage hole and continue around the bottom of the container. The tree can be rotated during the process to maintain a convenient angle for the shears. When the bottom is separated from the sides, keep it in place to support the root ball while the tree is lowered into the planting hole. Once the tree is in position and properly oriented, the loose bottom can be removed. While the container is still intact, make the final adjustments to the tree's position. Loppers or pruning shears can then be used to cut through the side of the container from top to bottom. Take care not to dig too deeply into the root ball. Lift the container away from the root ball. Notice in this case that there are no roots apparent on the outside of the root ball. This is one reason why the ball was loose, and why we chose to cut the container away, because we could support the root ball throughout the transplanting. Mix the soil and the amendment together in small batches. This is the backfill, which will be used to fill the planting hole. Build the soil up around the base of the root ball to make sure that the tree remains straight in the ground. After 3 or 4 inches of backfill have been added, compact the soil to drive out air pockets. The shovel handle can be used to make sure the soil is compacted around the bottom of the root ball. Add another 3 to 4 inch layer of the amended soil to the planting hole. Make sure to keep track of the original grade and keep the top of the root ball clear of added soil. Compact it again. At this level, you can use your body weight to tamp down the soil around the root ball. Continue to fill the hole 3 or 4 inches at a time and compact the soil. Keep your weight off the root ball at all times. Fill the hole to the top of the root ball and compact again. Depending on the conditions of the planting site, it is often necessary to build a berm, a 5 to 6 inch high ridge around the perimeter of the planting hole. This will create a basin that will retain a large quantity of water and make the irrigation process simpler and more effective. Soak the planting zone completely, filling the basin made by the berm to a depth of 5 or 6 inches. This deep soaking helps to drive out any remaining air pockets and settle the soil. Observe the drainage, taking note of how long it takes the water to soak into the soil. When the planting zone has emptied, check to make sure the root ball remains at soil level. Then soak the basin again. To get the tree off to a good start and direct its energy into structures that will be productive for the plant in the future, remove dead and damaged wood. Use good pruning techniques by removing limbs at the branch collar, making the smallest wound possible. Root crown shoots are a common problem. Many nursery trees are grafts. In this case, a fruiting cultivar, the navel orange, has been grafted onto rootstock that provides a strong, disease-resistant base. Any sprouts emerging from the rootstock below the graft should be removed at the time of planting, so the tree's energy will be directed into the desirable navel orange cultivar. The tarp can be removed now, and we can see how well it has protected the lawn, making cleanup simple and easy. By choosing the right tree for the right site, and by following these planting guidelines, we can look forward to the beauty, fragrance, organic fruit, cooling shade, and countless other benefits that come with growing our own trees. With minimal care, we expect these trees to thrive for many years to come.